The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers recap, October 10th, Bridget's bombshell. Brooke and Taylor's pact, and Luna's secrets on the October 10th episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. The emotional stakes hit an all-time high as secrets, lies, and shaky alliances reshape the lives of the Forresters, the Spencers, and everyone caught in between. As Bridget Forrester steps into the center of the storm with a paternity test kit in hand, the walls begin to close in on Luna Nozawa, whose carefully curated version of the truth may soon unravel. Meanwhile, Brooke and Taylor, longtime adversaries turned uneasy allies, shock viewers by agreeing on a delicate matter, and Elektra Forrester finds herself pulled deeper into the emotional aftermath of Luna's betrayal. With tensions high and trust on the line, Friday's episode didn't just move the plot forward, it set off an emotional chain reaction that could change everything. Bridget Forrester returns with answers, or more questions. Dr. Bridget Forrester's presence at the Spencer estate sends a clear message. The truth about Luna's baby will no longer be delayed. After weeks of whispers and speculations, the moment of reckoning has arrived. Bridget, ever the professional but clearly burdened by the emotional minefield she's stepping into, arrives prepared to administer a paternity test that could decide the fates of several key characters. The tension is thick as she collects Will Spencer's cheek swab and Luna's blood sample. Routine in procedure but monumental in consequence. Will, visibly shaken yet composed, turns to Bridget with a direct question. Bridget, what's this test going to say? It's a moment of vulnerability rarely seen from a Spencer man, especially one as young and untested as Will. But beneath the surface of scientific process lies a deeper unease. The question on everyone's mind is the one no one is daring to ask aloud. Is Luna hiding something? Luna's nervous energy raises eyebrows. Luna's demeanor throughout the scene is telling. She's polite, cooperative, but clearly agitated. Her eyes dart, her hands fidget, and her responses are clipped. It's not just the anxiety of a pending paternity test, it's something else. Something deeper. Katie Logan is the first to voice what others are only starting to suspect. Luna won't be able to talk her way out of this. Katie's words aren't meant to be cruel. Just matter of fact. The truth has been delayed long enough. The question isn't just who the father is. It's whether Luna has been honest at all. Was her version of events from the promotion party accurate? Did she really confuse Will for someone else? Or was that a convenient excuse to protect herself from fallout? The test may reveal the biology, but the morality remains up for debate. Brooke and Taylor shock the world. Again, meanwhile, in one of the episode's most surprising developments, Brooke Forrester and Taylor Hayes meet behind closed doors to discuss the Luna situation. These two women have fought bitterly for decades, most infamously over Ridge Forrester's affections. But on this day, for once, Ridge isn't the topic, and that might be why they find common ground. Their conversation is grounded in concern for Steffy Forrester, Taylor's daughter. The recent revelation that Luna is not only alive but entangled in the Spencer drama has shaken the family to its core. Brooke and Taylor agree, reluctantly, cautiously, but firmly, that Steffy doesn't need to know the full truth yet. At least not until Luna is back in custody, Taylor insists. And Brooke surprisingly nods in agreement. This unspoken truce between the two matriarchs is a rare moment of solidarity in a soap full of betrayals and reversals. It's not about forgiveness or friendship. It's about protecting the next generation from unnecessary pain, even if that means withholding the truth. For now, Elektra and Will find a moment of calm. But it won't last elsewhere. The emotional aftershocks of Luna's betrayal are still being felt. Elektra Forrester, who has stood by Will through the confusing and humiliating aftermath of the promotion party incident, visits the Spencer estate. Their reunion is gentle but bittersweet. Will, overwhelmed by guilt and uncertainty, leans on Elektra, who offers comfort without judgment. It's a quiet moment of intimacy in a storyline that's been anything but peaceful. They share a warm embrace, the kind that says more than words ever could. For a brief moment, time slows and everything feels manageable. But that calm is shattered when Katie walks in and announces that the paternity test is happening. Today, the reality hits like a freight train. Whatever peace Elektra and Will found is gone in an instant. The test looms large, its implications threatening not just Will's future, but their fragile relationship. The looming truth, will the test reveal everything or nothing at all? Bridget works swiftly and silently, performing the test with precision. But no matter how clean the procedure, the emotional mess remains. Will stares at the kid as if it's a ticking bomb. Luna avoids eye contact. Katie watches closely, noting every twitch and hesitation. And somewhere in the background, the shadow of Bill Spencer looms. His stake in this situation as a father, grandfather, and family patriarch impossible to ignore. But even as science prepares to speak, There's a creeping suspicion that this isn't just about biology. What if Luna has manipulated more than just a single moment? What if the web of lies is larger than anyone suspected? Questions that still linger. Friday's episode leaves viewers with more questions than answers. And that's precisely the point. Is Will truly the father, or was he merely caught in Luna's attempt to escape responsibility? If the baby isn't Will's, who is the real father? And what does that mean for Luna's place in the Forrester-Spencer orbit? Will Bridget's results be conclusive, or will there be complications? And perhaps most intriguingly, what will happen when Steffi eventually learns the truth that Brooke and Taylor are so desperate to keep from her? Luna's nervous energy and vague responses suggest that there's more she isn't saying. And if that's the case, the paternity test might not be the end of this story. It could be just the beginning. What happens next? The episode ends without revealing the test results. A calculated move by the writers to keep viewers hooked. But the pieces are in motion. Bridget has done the test. Katie is watching like a hawk. Brooke and Taylor are hiding something big. And Luna may be sitting on a powder keg of secrets. Whether Will is the father or not, someone is going to be devastated. And then there's Steffi. When she finds out not just that Luna is alive, but that Brooke and her own mother chose to hide it from her. How will she react? Steffi doesn't take betrayal lightly, especially when it comes from family. The fallout could fracture alliances that have barely healed from past wounds. Conclusion: the calm before the storm. The bold and the beautiful isn't pulling punches. With this episode, it pushes the narrative forward in bold strokes. Bridget's involvement brings a clinical weight to the drama, but the emotional stakes are what give it staying power. Brooke and Taylor's alliance is unprecedented, but built on shaky ground. Will and Elektra's connection may not survive the next revelation. And Luna, well, Luna might be the match that lights it all on fire. Friday's episode isn't just a setup for next week. It's a pressure cooker waiting to explode. And when it does, no one will be spared. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers recap. Bridget's stunning revelation, Luna's breakdown, and Will's narrow escape. Friday's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful was nothing short of explosive. The kind of hour that makes fans grip their seats and forget to breathe. What began as a tense moment of truth quickly turned into pure chaos as Bridget Forrester revealed the shocking results of the paternity test. Will Spencer's fate hung in the balance. Luna Nozawa's lies were about to unravel, and what followed was one of the most shocking outbursts the show has delivered in years. This was not just another episode. It was an eruption of long-simmering tension, raw emotion, and life-or-death stakes that could change everything for the Forresters, the Spencers, and the entire Los Angeles fashion world. The episode opened with a heavy silence in the Spencer living room. The entire atmosphere felt thick enough to cut with a knife. Bridget stood there holding the test results, her face unreadable, her hands steady despite the weight of the truth she was about to deliver. Katie Logan watched her closely, anxious but prepared for anything. Will sat beside Elektra Forrester, visibly nervous, his leg bouncing under the table, while Luna stood near the window, her arms crossed tightly, every muscle in her body tense. She kept glancing toward the envelope in Bridget's hand as if she could will it to reveal what she wanted. Bridget cleared her throat, her voice calm but firm. "The results are in," she said, and the room froze. Every eye was on her. Luna's breathing quickened, her eyes flashing with desperate anticipation. Will sat completely still, clutching Elektra's hand, waiting for the words that could change his life. Bridget took a breath, unfolded the paper, and read aloud, "Will Spencer is not the father of Luna Nozawa's baby." For a split second, the room was silent. It was as if time stopped. Then everything happened at once. Will's face transformed, shock first, then disbelief, and finally pure, overwhelming relief. He stood up abruptly, his voice breaking with emotion as he shouted, "Oh my God. I'm not the father." The sound echoed through the house, part laughter, part cry. He couldn't contain himself. "I'm free," he said, throwing his hands up, overwhelmed with joy. Katie gasped, covering her mouth, both relieved and stunned. Elektra's eyes widened in surprise. But then she smiled softly, tears forming as she watched Will's reaction. For her, it meant the nightmare was over. The months of tension, doubt, and confusion had finally lifted. She hugged Will tightly, whispering, "It's over. It's really over." But across the room, Luna's world was crumbling. Her face went pale. She blinked rapidly, trying to process what she just heard. "No," she whispered under her breath, shaking her head. "That can't be right." Her voice cracked. "That's impossible." Bridget glanced at her, maintaining her professionalism. "Luna, the test was done correctly. The results are conclusive." But Luna wasn't listening. Her mind was spinning, replaying everything from that night. The party, the confusion, the blurred memory, the certainty she had that Will was the only man she had been with. She muttered to herself, no, I only slept with Will. There's no way. He has to be the father. Will turned toward her, still reeling but trying to remain composed. Luna, I'm sorry. I didn't want this to be ugly. I just needed to know the truth. The truth? Luna snapped, her voice sharp and trembling. You think this is the truth? You think some stupid piece of paper tells you what's real? Bridget tried to intervene. Luna, I understand this is difficult. Difficult? Luna interrupted, her tone rising. You don't understand anything. This can't be real. Her breathing grew erratic, her eyes wild. Then, with sudden fury, she turned to Bridget, her voice full of accusation. You did this, didn't you? You changed it. Someone paid you off. Bridget froze. Excuse me? You heard me, Luna shouted. Someone got to you. Someone made you lie. She took a step closer, trembling with anger. You think I don't know how this family works? Money, power, influence, it's all the same. You're protecting Will because he's a Spencer. Luna, stop this, Katie said firmly, moving toward her. No one tampered with anything. Bridget is a doctor. She would never. Liar. Luna screamed, her voice cracking under the weight of panic. You're all lying to me. At that moment, Luna's emotions spiraled completely out of control. She grabbed a nearby knife from the fruit tray on the table, holding it tightly in her shaking hand. The room erupted in gasps. Will froze. Electra backed away, her hand over her mouth. Katie instinctively moved in front of Will, shielding him, but Luna's eyes were fixed solely on him. Tell me the truth, Bridget, Luna shouted, her voice trembling between fury and despair. Tell me the truth right now or I swear I'll. Luna, please, Bridget said, raising her hands. Put the knife down. Luna's eyes filled with tears. You're lying to me. You're all lying. You changed the results. He's the father. He has to be. She pointed the knife toward Will's throat, her hand shaking violently. Will stood completely still, his heart pounding. Luna, stop. You don't want to do this. Don't tell me what I want, she screamed. You ruined everything. You used me, and now you're trying to erase me. No one's erasing you, Bridget said carefully, trying to keep her voice steady. You're scared, and I understand that. But you have to believe me, the test wasn't tampered with. The results are accurate, then explain it, Luna yelled. Explain how this happened, because I swear, I only slept with him. There's no one else. Bridget hesitated for a moment, her mind racing. Luna, there could be a mistake in your memory. Don't talk to me like I'm crazy. Luna shouted, tears streaming down her face. I remember everything. It was him. It was Will. I don't believe you. Her voice broke completely then, raw and frantic. You're lying to protect him. Admit it. Admit you changed the results. Bridget took a cautious step forward. Luna, listen to me. I'm not lying. No one paid me. I did the test myself. You have to let Will go. But Luna didn't seem to hear her. She pressed the knife closer to Will's neck, the edge just grazing his skin. Electra let out a sob, and Katie's voice trembled as she said, Luna, please. Don't do this. Think about your baby. That stopped Luna for a second. Her eyes widened, her breath catching. For the first time, the reality of what she was doing seemed to break through the chaos. She looked down at her stomach, then back at Will, who was staring at her with fear and pity. My baby, she whispered, her voice softening, almost fragile. Yes, Bridget said quickly, seizing the moment. You have to protect your baby. You can't hurt anyone right now. Let's just talk. Luna's grip loosened slightly, her eyes darting between Bridget and Will. Her whole body shook. Then suddenly, as if all the energy drained from her at once, she dropped the knife to the floor and sank to her knees. Sobbing uncontrollably, Bridget immediately moved in, signaling Katie to get the knife. Will stepped back, breathing hard, his hand instinctively going to his throat where a thin red line showed how close he had come to. Disaster. Electra rushed to him, wrapping her arms around him as tears of relief streamed down her face. Bridget knelt beside Luna, her tone gentle but firm. It's over now. You're safe. But we need to talk about what's really going on. Luna shook her head, crying. No, you don't understand. It's not possible. I didn't cheat. I didn't. Bridget exchanged a look with Katie, who was already on the phone calling for help. The scene was chaos, relief mixed with shock, fear mixed with heartbreak. As the episode closed, the camera lingered on Bridget's face, calm but troubled. There was something in her eyes, a flicker of hesitation, a trace of guilt. Maybe it was the weight of what had just happened. Or maybe, just maybe, Luna wasn't wrong after all. Because if Bridget was hiding something, if the test results had been altered, then this wasn't over. Not even close. And in the world of the bold and the beautiful, secrets never stay buried for long.
Oh.